สวัสดีค่ะขอต้อนรับเข้าสู่การอบรมครูผู้สอนภาษาอังกฤษซึ่งจัดโดยมูลนิธิการศึกษาทางไกลผ่านดาวเทียมร่วมกับสถานทูตสหรัฐอเมริกาประจำประเทศไทยและบริษัท TOT จำกัดมหาชนในหัวข้อ Preparing our students for the ASEAN Community with 5 C's ซึ่งครั้งนี้เป็นครั้งที่ 6 และเป็นครั้งสุดท้ายนะคะ Good morning, welcome you all to the English language teacher Videoconferencing program organized by the Distance Learning Foundation with the support of the Regional English Language Office, American Embassy Bangkok and TOT Public Company Limited under the theme Preparing Our Students for the ASEAN Community with 5 C's. Today is the 6th session, which is the final session that we will have our teacher participants present their projects. And please welcome Ajahn Chiran Sanchez from Thammasat University as our guest speaker today. Ajahn Chiran.
Thank you, Ajahn. Good morning, everyone. Sawadee. How are you today on your final session? I hope you are ready to share your projects, demonstrate an activity, and discuss and reflect on your colleagues' projects for their students on the 5 C's and the ASEAN community. Let's make this last session a very good one, an excellent one. Let's begin. So as you know, this is the final session, the 6th session of this series. We've been talking about and also exploring different ideas about how we can challenge our students and help develop their skills for the 21st century. And with that, the 5 C's: communication, culture, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. And we are going to integrate that, or we have been integrating that, with the ASEAN community, especially with it opening up in 2015. So for our final session today, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have our teachers present their final projects, project-based learning on ASEAN and the 5 C's. We already have a set of teachers who will present their projects, and if any teachers here also brought a project they didn't send by email, we are more than welcome. We would love you to share your project with us. After presenting a project, the teachers are asked to demonstrate a part of an activity. And this is something very brief, part of the lesson that they did with their students or would like to do with their students. After the demonstration and the presentation, as a group, we will talk about and discuss that project, how it's helping our students develop their 21st century skills. And lastly, we're just going to look forward into the future. What can we expect? What can we help? What else can we do to help our students develop their critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, and intercultural skills? So before we get into that, let's have a little warm-up, a brainstorm. Write down as many as you can in 2 minutes, skills that we need for the 21st century. We, all of us, need for the 21st century. You can make a list, a mind map, whatever you think is necessary for you. Okay. All right. So everyone, please put your pencils down. All right. Well, let's begin. Let's begin in Hua Hin, actually. In Hua Hin, what skills do you have listed down? It's hard to total everything up with all the teachers there, but maybe you can just shout them out. What are some skills for the 21st century?
Yes, good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Yes. Now, skills we need for the 21st century. my opinion is okay. Communications. First, we need communication. We need to be active, active to do anything, especially learning something new and doing something new as well. Being flexible, open-minded, technology-oriented, and high responsible for what they do, for the environment, for themselves, for the society, for the community. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ooh. All right. Bangkok. We'll go back to what Hua Hin said after we hear what teachers here in Bangkok said. Anything here that's the same? Maybe some different skills? Anyone here? Ajanda? Okay.
Okay, just the same critical thinking and communicate, computer skill, 4 skill of language like listening, reading, writing, speaking, integrating, and creative.
Creativity. Okay, all right, thank you. And I think there are teachers also in the back behind Ajanda. Did you have, I saw your microphone.
Like people skill, how people live together, and lifelong learning skill, because students have to learn more, and we have high technology now. They have to select what they want to learn, what is good for them.
Right, thank you. All great ideas, contributions. We have the 5 skills, the 5 C's in there that we mentioned, right? In addition to those, in Hua Hin, you mentioned flexibility, responsibility for self, society, and the environment. And then you had something being active, participatory, which is some way similar to responsibility, right? You have to be active, engaged, up in your head and also with your body, right? To take initiative, right? To take initiative, to take risks sometimes, which is also part of creativity. And we have here in Bangkok mentioning also the integration of the language skills and also soft skills. We call them soft skills now. And what we added for both Hua Hin and Bangkok, the technology skills. Exactly, right. We need to adapt to different technologies very quickly these days. All right, excellent. Ajahn? Okay, not yet. Okay, so the reason why we're doing this is we're trying to make a quick review of what we've been doing these past 5 sessions and thinking about these 21st century skills that we are developing, not just for our students, but for ourselves, for our neighbors, for our families, for strangers we meet, for basically the human race, right? How we, as lifelong learners, can succeed in the 21st century and beyond to make this world a better place to live in and helping each other and collaborating with each other. And we are thinking about this in terms of the ASEAN community as well. And so this is something I found on the internet, and it was perfect in showing how these different skills they're quite small, are integrated into a classroom also. Innovation, literacy, entrepreneurial skills, right? Thinking a business way, and also knowing about health and a few other things here, civic, economic, problem-solving skills, which has to do with creativity and critical thinking, intercultural, cross-cultural skills, many different skills all intertwined. And so, in this last session, as we're listening to our teachers present their projects with their students, let's think about these 21st century skills. Let's think about how these skills can be developed in our students and how we can help that. So for the final projects, we're going to first begin with the teachers who sent in their projects via email, and then it's followed by teachers who brought in any projects or any ideas that you have that you didn't have time to send via email. So for those teachers here in Bangkok and also in Hua Hin who didn't have time but brought something in, please do share it. Here's the order of the presentation. I mentioned it earlier. So teachers, you have about 3 to 5 minutes to talk about your project. It's okay if you go over 5 minutes. It's fine. It's just a marker. And after the presentation, I would like you, it would be great if you can demonstrate or show a part of an activity to teach us what it is that you did or would like to do with your students. And the third part is all of us talking about the project and how it relates to the 21st century skills as well. Okay, so presentation, demonstration, and discussion. For the discussion, I will show this slide, and you also have it in your handout. It's basically these 2 questions that we want to think about, and any other comments you can make also. First question is, how does this project help develop students' 21st century skills, which I mentioned? And the second one is, how does this project help students prepare for ASEAN 2015? So something more general, 21st century skills, and then a bit more specific with the ASEAN community. Okay, so these are things we should be thinking about when we're listening to our fellow teachers. So today, Ajahn Naraporn will explain a little bit first.
ค่ะจากกิจกรรมที่ท่านอาจารย์เชให้ทำเมื่อกี้นะคะคล้ายๆกับเป็นการ brainstorm นะคะว่า skill ซึ่งจำเป็นสำหรับ 21st century นี่คืออะไรบ้างเนี่ยนะคะก็ทางหัวหินก็ได้พูดถึงทั้ง skill ที่เกี่ยวกับเทคโนโลยีนะคะแล้วก็ที่แตกต่างออกไปก็คือเรื่อง active learning flexibility แล้วก็ responsibility นะคะในส่วนทางกรุงเทพนะคะก็เพิ่มเติมก็นอกจาก 4 skills แล้วนะคะก็เป็น 5 C's ของเรานั่นเองนะคะก็มีทั้ง critical thinking creativity communication แล้วก็เพิ่มมาก็มี people skill นะคะ lifelong learning skill นะคะทีนี้ทางสไลด์นะคะที่ท่านอาจารย์เชได้นำมาให้ดูเนี่ยก็มีเพิ่มเติมอีกนะคะนอกจาก technology skill แล้วเนี่ยก็มีอย่างเช่น technology responsibility นะคะคือเมื่อเรารู้จักใช้แล้วเราก็ต้องมีความรับผิดชอบด้วยนะคะที่จะอย่างเช่นการใช้อินเทอร์เน็ตใช่ไหมคะไม่โพสอะไรที่จะเป็นการที่ทำให้คนอื่นเดือดร้อนอย่างนี้เป็นต้นนะคะแล้วนอกจากนั้นนี่ก็ยังมี cross cultural intercultural skills นะคะมีสกิลที่เกี่ยวกับ health นะคะสุขภาพเมื่อโลกเราเปิดกว้างขึ้นนะคะเราก็ต้องรู้นะคะมีการมีสุขภาพที่ดีเป็นอย่างไรเชื้อโรคอะไรบ้างที่เราควรจะรู้นะควรจะระวังมีเดียนะคะสื่อต่างๆซึ่งมีมากมายหลากหลายเหลือเกินโดยเฉพาะสื่อออนไลน์นะคะแล้วก็ leadership ค่ะสำหรับอันนั้นก็สรุปของสกิลทั้งหลายนะคะที่มีทั้งที่ท่านอาจารย์ได้พูดถึงแล้วก็ที่ฉายในสไลด์กิจกรรมถัดมานะคะสำหรับกิจกรรมหลักของวันนี้ก็คือการที่ท่านอาจารย์นะคะที่มาร่วมอบรมกับเราเนี่ยนำเสนอโปรเจกต์ที่ท่านอาจารย์ได้ไปทำนะคะอาจจะวางแผนเพื่อที่จะใช้สอนนักเรียนของท่านในคลาสภาษาอังกฤษนะคะโดยให้มี 5 C's ของเรานะคะซึ่งขั้นตอนก็คือว่าให้นำเสนอโครงการนะคะแล้วก็นำเสนอแล้วก็อาจจะให้เมื่อนำเสนอโครงการในภาพรวมทั้งหมดแล้วก็อาจจะให้นำตอนหนึ่งมาเสนอวิธีการสอนหรือกิจกรรมที่จะให้นักเรียนทำหรือที่ได้ให้นักเรียนทำไปแล้วในห้องสักนิดหนึ่งและหลังจากนั้นนะคะท่านอาจารย์เพื่อนๆของท่านอาจารย์นี่ก็จะอภิปรายนะคะค่ะถึงโปรเจกต์ที่ท่านอาจารย์ได้เสนอนะคะแล้วก็ ในการที่จะอภิปรายนะคะอาจารย์เชก็ได้ให้คำถามไว้2คำถามนะคะ two questions นะคะก็คือว่าให้ดูซิว่าโปรเจกต์นี้เนี่ยจะช่วยพัฒนานักเรียนของเรานะคะให้พัฒนาทักษะที่จำเป็นสำหรับศตวรรษที่ 21 ได้อย่างไรแล้วก็จะช่วยนักเรียนของเราให้เตรียมตัวกับการเข้าสู่ประชาคมอาเซียนได้อย่างไรค่ะ
All right. Thank you, Ajahn. All right. So the first 3 teachers that I would like to present their projects. First would be Ajahn Phon or Pananida with folk tales, followed by Ajahn Sukhon, and 3 Ajahns here in Bangkok, Jinjuta, Kanjana, and Yotaka. Oh, beautiful names. All right, so those first set of teachers first. So Ajahn Phon, are you ready to present us your project? There's also a handout in your packet about her PowerPoint slides as well.
ท่านแรกที่จะนำเสนอนะคะคืออาจารย์พันธนิดามาลาสิงห์นะคะจากทางที่อบรมที่หัวหินนะคะในหัวข้อโปรเจกต์ชื่อ The ASEAN Puppet Folk Tales ค่ะ
Okay.
I remember you, Ajahn Phon.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. It's only the part of my students' work, and I will show you more and more. Please wait. Okay. So, yes, that is my material for showing you about my teaching to my students for today. Okay. My final project is the ASEAN Puppet Folk Tales. The purpose of this project is to encourage students to be creative. Second, to have students practice languages used in telling a story. And the third, to have students learn about ASEAN by telling story. Okay. And now I want to show you about my tools of the ASEAN folk tales. That's it. The character of my story. Fisherman and his wife. Oh, so excited for today.
Oh, you're doing fine.
And how do I teach my students to tell a story and make connection with 5 C's? The first step, I use the culture. Give students useful languages pattern to tell a story. Then teach students about the culture of each country in ASEAN through ASEAN folk tales. Second, communication. I use the communication for my step 2. After listening to the folk tales from the teacher, students choose one ASEAN folk tales that they like, and then they take turns telling their listeners why they like the folk tales. And the lesson could be based on culture, language, belief, or others. Let them practice telling the story they choose by themselves. And the third step is collaboration. When students choose the story, divide students into groups of 4 or 5 students. Assign each group to choose an ASEAN folktale. They have to make their own puppets belongs the story, and they have to tell the folktale that they choose. And at this step, the teacher is only the consultant and walk to looking for the student to practice and use the language and correct them when they use the wrong language or wrong grammar. Step 4, creative thinking. Students decide their own style of telling a folktale. They can use their creative thinking skill in designing clothes or scene or characters, whatever. And the last one, step 5, critical thinking. When each group tells their folktale, they have to think about the moral of the stories and encourage other groups to discuss about it. They also have to prepare questions to ask their friends to check their attention and understanding. Okay, and now I want to show you about my story. The story is about the fisherman and his wife. The story is Golden Chain. Golden Chain.
Golden chain.
Yes. The story is a folktale of Malaysia.
Malaysian folktale.
Yes, Malaysia. And now I have my two buddy to pray about my puppets. Okay?
Okay, so we're in a demonstration. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Golden Chain. Parkaboo and his wife, Mark Money, were very poor. They lived in an old hut beside a lake. Every day, they would go out to catch fish. One day, Parkaboo and his wife went fishing. Parkaboo felt something pulling on his fishing line. He felt excited and started pulling the line.
Hello, baby. I think I caught a fish.
Exclaimed Parkaboo. Parkaboo pulled his fishing line with all his might.
I think it is a big fish.
Said Mark Money. She helped her husband to pull in fish. However, it was difficult to pull in the fishing line. They did not give up. The couple pulled harder. They were shocked. The fishing line has hooked onto golden chain. They kept pulling up on the golden chain. The couple was very happy.
We will be rich when we sell these golden chains.
Said Mark Money.
Oh, baby, we will get a lot of money.
The husband nodded and agreed. Parkaboo and Mark Money continued to pull in the golden chain. The more they pulled, the longer golden chain was. There was no end on the golden chain. Parkaboo started to worry.
This is very useful. I wonder how long this chandelier is.
He said to himself. Mark Money did not know that the Parkaboo was very worried about it. And she was thinking of selling the golden chain and becoming a millionaire. Parkaboo continued to worry. The boat has become very, very heavy. He was frightened the boat was sink. It has already sunk a little.
Oh, let's get a chance. Our boat will sink if we continue to pull this golden chain.
Said Parkaboo, who had started to panic.
Don't be silly.
Said Mark Money. Mark Money continued pulling the golden chain. She ignored Parkaboo's advice. She thought he was being silly. After the short time, their boat began to get heavier and heavier. It began to sink. Both of them quickly jumped off the boat.
Hey, we lost everything. We should not be greedy.
Said Parkaboo sadly. Mark Money regretted not listening to Parkaboo's advice. The moral of this story is, kill not the goose that lays the golden eggs. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ajahn Phon. All right. So thank you very much. That was exciting. And thank you for your buddies, you say, your colleagues who are acting as your students. So everyone, especially here in Bangkok, since we were the captive audience, let's first think about what Ajahn Phon was talking about. You could also look at the handout, right? How she integrated the 5 C's in her lesson on ASEAN folktales, and what the students were going to do for each C. And let's go back to those questions. And the first question, how does this project develop students' her students 21st century skills? And second, how does it help them prepare for ASEAN 2015? So also in Hua Hin, you could think about this, even also Ajahn Phon, right? To assess your own and to reflect on your own project with your students. And give you a couple of minutes to think about this, and we will ask you to share your ideas on this discussion. All right, would anyone here in Bangkok or Hua Hin like to share their ideas for the reflection about 21st century skills and about preparation for ASEAN?
ท่านอาจารย์มีความเห็นไหมคะว่าโปรเจกต์ของอาจารย์พันธนิดานี่จะช่วยให้นักเรียนของเราพัฒนาทักษะที่จำเป็นสำหรับศตวรรษที่ 21 แล้วก็ทักษะที่จำเป็นสำหรับการเตรียมตัวเข้าสู่ประชาคมอาเซียนอย่างไรค่อนข้างจะเห็นชัดนะคะในโปรเจกต์ของอาจารย์พันธนิดานะคะอาจารย์ก็มี5 C's ครบเลยเชิญเลยค่ะอาจารย์
อาจารย์นิรมน has something to share.
Good morning. That's very good and interesting puppet folktale. And the answer for number one is we think that for the 21st century, students can learn about intercultural skill. And for number two, this prepare our students to learn about ASEAN neighborhood, something like the way people live.
The way of life and the culture, the beliefs of the other ASEAN countries.
Yes. And maybe compare with our folktale.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share, either here in Bangkok or there in Hua Hin?
Morning. I'm in Hua Hin.
Hello.
Hello. A very excellent project. All of us know the students write the fairy tales. So this project will complete all 2 answers because the student can use 4 skill of English and use many skill that we talked in the last time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's right. Yes, the integration of the language skills and including the 5 C's also in that. And the intercultural communication is definitely there because I think also with folk tales, it shows a different part, also the beliefs of a country, of a culture. And to be able to dive into that or to dig deep into that part of literature, right? That aspect of culture in a different country, in this case of Malaysia, it lets us see a window into the country, into the ASEAN country. And a folktale, what's great about this lesson or this activity, or this project, I should say, is the fact that there are the morals and the lessons. So it also shows us and shows the students the different beliefs, values, and the norms of a specific society. Even if those norms are from a folktale, you can compare those norms before with the norms now, the values and how they changed. Right? When we think about many different folk tales from different countries, it shows how people were valuing their values on family or telling the truth or friendship. And it just shows us a window into the culture. So I think that's what's also great because the students can think about that. And like Ajahn Niramon said, compare it with their own culture.
ค่ะสำหรับโปรเจกต์ของอาจารย์พันธนิดานะคะที่เกี่ยวกับการเล่านิทานพื้นบ้านนะคะผ่านทางพับเพจนะคะซึ่งก็ให้นักเรียนช่วยทำด้วยนี่นะคะ ประเด็นที่สำคัญนะคะที่ท่านอาจารย์เห็นว่าเป็นโปรเจกต์ที่ดีมากๆนะคะทั้งทางกรุงเทพและหัวหินก็คือนอกจากจะได้ฝึกทักษะทั้ง 4 skills แล้วก็ได้เรียนรู้นะคะวัฒนธรรมที่แตกต่างนะคะแล้วก็เรียนรู้ความเชื่อนะคะวัฒนธรรมการ values นะคะการส่งเสริมการทำความดีนะคะในแต่ละชนชาติแต่ละวัฒนธรรมนะคะซึ่งก็เป็นวิธีหนึ่งที่จะทำให้เราได้เรียนรู้นะคะในอีกแง่มุมหนึ่งของประเทศต่างๆที่อยู่ในประชาคมอาเซียนด้วยค่ะซึ่งเป็นสิ่งที่ดีถ้าเราได้เรียนรู้สิ่งที่เขาสั่งสอนกันมาสั่งสมกันมาตั้งแต่อดีตจนถึงปัจจุบันและก็เราก็อาจจะนำมาเปรียบเทียบกับนิทานพื้นบ้านของไทยว่าของเรานี้มีการสั่งสอนในเรื่องอะไรบ้างนะคะมีแต่สิ่งดีๆทั้งนั้นค่ะ
Thank you. All right, so the next teacher is Ajahn Sukhon, also in Hua Hin, about costumes and also a little performance in a video. Ajahn Sukhon, are you ready to share? It's also in your packet, a short description.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Miss Chair.
Good morning.
Okay. And everybody, good morning, Sam. My name is Sukhon Sanmoon. In my school is Ban Lam Thong School in Phetburi area 2. Phetburi area 2. Okay. I try to find the way that makes my student to be interested in ASEAN about the culture. So I have an idea to create video and pictures about ASEAN dancing, dressing, and greeting, which I will present next. Final project based learning. Number one, I know about the culture of dressing in 10 ASEAN countries. Number two, when they see the difference of dressing in 10 ASEAN countries, they can tell it correctly. Number three, they can create with 10 ASEAN countries language correctly. And next, process of learning and teaching. Number one, student see the pictures and this video ASEAN dancing. This ASEAN dancing I send to YouTube and everybody can load. The title Ban Lam Thong ASEAN Dancing. Number two, the students can identify them correctly.
Okay.
Number three, the students can speak East ASEAN language countries. Number four, then they will get good point. I'm start and show the picture. Help me. Thank you.
Okay. Are these the pictures are of your students wearing the costume?
Okay.
Your students wearing the ASEAN country costumes
And
or
the
the dress?
And the greeting next greeting
Mhm.
and the greeting.
Okay.
And the greeting. Everybody help me and you everybody in my student. Okay. My student.
Oh.
Number one and part one and the left dressing of Indonesia. Left hand Indonesia. When you getting, repeat after me. Selamat siang. Selamat siang. Okay.
Selamat siang.
Oh, great. And next, right? Party song. And the right. Malaysia.
right, okay.
Malaysia in Selamat Datang, please. Selamat Datang. Again, Selamat Datang.
Selamat
good
Datang.
idea. Selamat Datang.
Thank
and,
you.
Two. And the left, Cambodia. Thai is
Cambodia.
Cambodia. Greeting is Suasade. Again, please. Suasade. Oh, thank you. And the right, Singapore. Ni hao. Oh, cool.
Ni hao.
Number Chinese same. Number 3.
Yeah, good morning.
T, okay. And the left is Vietnam. Xin chào. Okay. And the right, Philippines. Kumusta?
Yes, Philippines.
Kumusta? Okay, plus 4. Lao. Sabadi.
Sabadi.
My student is loud all around. Lao. Somebody. Okay. Next. Oh, it's a beautiful here. No. Thailand is beautiful and lovely. Thailand. Sawadee. Okay. And the last page and number 5. Brunei Darussalam. And speak. Brunei Darussalam. Say Malaysia. Greeting, say Malaysia. Okay. Selamat datang. Again, please. Selamat datang. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And the last right. That one. Myanmar. Mingalaba. But Thai and the joke is Mungalaba. No, Mungalaba. Mingalaba. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the next,
Excellent.
Miss, you can see video and I send my email to YouTube. You can.
Oh, well, I think right now, if we have time later, we will show the video because it's about 10 minutes long. However,
Okay.
right now, if it's okay, we will just talk about your projects right now. We will show the video a little later because if you show, everyone knows the YouTube. Dansukon, can you repeat the address in YouTube? And if we have some time later, we can show it. But at home, you can also view the video yourself. Oh, here's a little bit of it. So which dance is this one, Ajahn? Which country?
Okay.
Singapore.
อาจารย์คะคงแค่นี้ละค่ะ ขออนุญาตตัดนะคะ เพราะว่าวิดีโอยาวมากนะคะ แล้วก็เดี๋ยวให้ทางท่านอาจารย์นี้ไปดูวิดีโอเองได้นะคะ ก็จาก address ที่อาจารย์ให้นะคะ ชื่อบ้านแหลมทองอาเซียนแดนซิ่งค่ะนะคะ อยู่บน YouTube แล้วบ้านแหลมทองอาเซียนแดนซิ่งนะคะ ตอนนี้เราก็จะมาดิสคัสกันนะคะถึงโปรเจกต์ของท่านอาจารย์สุคนนะคะว่าได้ตอบคำถามของเรา2คำถามไหมนะคะว่าที่จะช่วยพัฒนานักเรียนให้ได้ทักษะของศตวรรษที่11แล้วก็ได้การเตรียมตัวเข้าสู่ประชาคมอาเซียนอย่างไรค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you. Yes, discussion.
ค่ะ2 นาทีค่ะอาจารย์ลองช่วยกันคิดนะคะค่ะจากที่ได้เห็นมานะคะการสอน greetings ภาษาต่างๆในอาเซียนนะคะซึ่งน่ารักมากนะคะแล้วก็นักเรียนก็แต่งตัวสวยงามนะคะทั้ง10ชาติค่ะ
All right. Would anyone like to share their thoughts on Ajahn Sukon's project with the costumes and the greetings? It could either be in Hua Hin or here in Bangkok. Any ideas you have? So how does this project develop students' 21st century skills? And second, how does this help them prepare for the ASEAN community? Any ideas are welcome. Oh yes, Ajahn here in Bangkok first.
And the first, in the cultural skill, because students have to learn about greeting, dancing, and the second, students learn how to prepare themselves for AC.
And in what way are they preparing for AEC with the project?
How to say
The greeting.
greeting. Yes.
Okay. This is the first part of communication, right? Is a greeting. Yes, and a lot of it for Ajahn Sukhon's project, it's all the physical attributes of the culture, right? So it's very representative of the ASEAN country, right? Through the costume, the dress, and how we can identify that culture. And it was very lovely of you, Ajahn, to help us pronounce the correct way for the greeting, right? And then the next step after that would be perhaps more phrases and expressions from that country. And it's too bad we couldn't see the rest of the dance, but I invite all of you. It is quite long, but it is also just very entertaining. Just to see the students are quite talented dancing the specific performance, specific dance from the country. Right, thank you very much. All right.
ค่ะสำหรับโปรเจกต์ของท่านอาจารย์สุคนนะคะก็จริงๆก็ลงทุนเยอะมากนะคะให้นักเรียนแต่งตัวชาติต่างๆทั้ง10ชาตินะคะสวยงามแล้วก็ให้แสดงแล้วก็ขึ้น YouTube ไว้ซึ่งตรงนี้เนี่ยท่านอาจารย์ท่านอื่นนะคะจากโรงเรียนอื่นเนี่ยไม่ต้องทำแล้วนะคะเราไปใช้คลิปของอาจารย์สุคนได้เลยนะคะก็เป็นการประหยัดแล้วก็ได้ช่วยสอนภาษาอาเซียนนะคะทั้ง10ภาษาในเรื่องการทักทายนะคะแต่ว่าที่น่าจะต่อยอดออกไปอีกนิดก็คือว่าให้นักเรียนได้ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษด้วยจากกิจกรรมนี้นะคะเพราะไม่เช่นนั้นแล้วก็กลายเป็นว่าแค่ดูการแต่งกายแล้วก็กรีดเป็นภาษาทั้ง10ชาติคนละวลีเท่านั้นเองนะคะก็ต้องพัฒนาต่อยอดนิดหนึ่งนะคะว่าอาจจะให้มีการเปรียบเทียบคอสตูมของแต่ละประเทศให้นักเรียนได้ดิสคัสกันนะคะเป็นภาษาอังกฤษก็เท่ากับว่าได้ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษในห้องเรียนภาษาอังกฤษนะคะค่ะ
Right, thank you. Right, so we will have here in Bangkok Ajahns Jintana, Kanjana, and Yotaka. After they go, they will be followed by Ajahn Panya and then Ajahn Sunan in Hua Hin. Okay, so Ajahns here.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
In my school had different from the others because of in my school is very big. We have a student from kindergarten until Mathayom 6, about 4,000 students in my school. So that's a good luck for us that the director give us a budget to prepare the ASEAN station. We have the theme of this project that Anurag join hands in proceeding to ASEAN. Okay, let's see the PowerPoint. And after that, we separate each class to be one country. Bottom 1, you are Brunei. Bottom 2, Cambodia. Bottom 3, Indonesia, Laos, and Myanmar. Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thai, and Vietnam. Until Mathayom 4, 5, 6. And after that, we invite the parents to come to join our activities. And we let the students in every level to dress any country if you want, because of the parents can support a lot in my school, so that about 90% of the students dress any country if that they want. Very that like the popular in my school on that day. We have set about 3 days of ASEAN. After that, the student we have English program in my school. We separate the foreigner to stay in each station. 2 teachers in the station to communicate with the student. We have the passport for the student in each class, and you have to go to visit every countries in ASEAN and communicate with the foreigner. And you have to in the station we said about food, about the vinyl, about the detail of each country. And the student we have a representative in each station that can speak English, can greeting in the language of that country. And we have the session for cooking. We can join and cooking the national food that the country that like when we go to Laos, you can cook salad Luang Prabang, and we can cook goi khek from Brunei, or kai sate from Brunei, khao tom mat from Myanmar, anything like that. And we can sell it. Every students they want to join and buy every food from each country. And after that, they have to make use the passport. If you can answer the question, or you can fill the blanks of the paper. We have stamp in each country. And if you finish 10 countries, you get the certificate from the school stations, like that.
Wow.
And it's okay. Let's see the slides.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, we have ASEAN +3.
+3.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you explain the
Chinese,
+3?
Korean, and
Japan. In Japan.
Japan. Yeah.
Our school project use 5C. It's one cooperation. Teacher and student, we help each other for prepare this exhibition. And the student help to make a map, to help to cook like this and prepare the place. To culture, the student can learn from costume, food, and place in this country. 3 communication, the student can talk about what is different from each other country. And sometimes the student asks the teacher for what is happen in this country, what is the place in this country. And every teacher must say the language, what's it called, the language from each country. Like salam, like this. And creative thinking is the student can learn about what is in their worksheet. They can look for every exhibition and work in their worksheet. And critical thinking is after they learn from exhibition, they can analyze what is different from Thailand, from our country. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Okay. Before I start talking about it, I would like all the others to talk about this wonderful project. So let's think about the teacher's project here with this 3-day, right? It's like a 3-day exhibition experience for the teachers, the parents, and the students, the community. Okay, about a minute for us to think about.
อาจารย์ลองคุยกันนะคะว่าโปรเจกต์นี้เป็นอย่างไรนะคะตอบคำถาม2 คำถามของเราหรือไม่ค่ะ